Hi, I'm Christian McCarville.
And I'm Kelly Phillips.
Welcome back to another episode of Rider Sports Report. Obviously, this is not our normal setup, but we're both reporting live from our homes on winter break.
Yeah, so hopefully next semester we can be back in the studio where we belong, behind our desk. But for now, we are working from home, like I'm sure most of you are. And we're really excited for this episode. So I guess let's just get right into it.
Yeah, so Kelly, I've been told that you have a pretty interesting interview today for us. So tell us about it.
So we are definitely starting off strong this episode. The team here at Rider Sports Report decided that we wanted to start a new segment on the show, kind of like a Where Are They Now with former Rider athletes to see their journey to where they are and kind of what they did after they graduated from Rider. I recently got a chance to sit down with former Rider baseball player Nick Margevichis over Zoom to talk about his journey to the MLB, where he now plays for the Seattle Mariners. Let's check it out now. Well, first of all, thank you so much for coming on to the show. I know my entire team appreciates it, and we're really excited to kind of get your story.
Yeah, no problem at all. Glad to be here.
So you're from Ohio. Growing up in Ohio, first of all, how did you even hear about Rider? And then second of all, what made you decide to come here?
Well, growing up in Ohio, I never really even heard of Rider, and a lot of the people who I told after I committed there, they didn't really know what it was either. But I just found out about them because they had Division I athletics and baseball team. So in the process of recruiting and stuff, I was sending out my information, all different teams and stuff. And Coach Davis had reached back out and told me he was interested. And they ended up offering me a scholarship. And really, Coach Davis kind of sold me on the school. And I wanted to come play for him. And I wanted the opportunity to start early in my career. So that's really what sold me on the school.
Kind of going off of that, was there any moment where you kind of had a realization of, hey, I could do this, like I could do this professionally? Did that happen at Rider? Or when did you kind of realize that was going to be your life?
Yeah, that really didn't happen until after my freshman year. When going to school there, I just wanted to play. Like, I had no intention of playing professionally. Like, I was like, hey, if I could start here, like, that would be pretty cool, like starting Division I pitcher, like that was kind of my mindset, my goal at the time. And then my freshman year, I started the whole year on the weekend, and then I went away to summer ball, and I started throwing a little bit harder, and that was the first time a scout had ever talked to me, was that summer. And then I was kind of like, maybe I could do something with this. So I started working for that and set a new goal of getting drafted in 2 years, and but that didn't happen until after my freshman year at Rider.
You said you kind of set that goal for yourself to get drafted in 2 years. How do you think you got there? Like, what was that process like? Was there anyone who helped you through it? Any piece of advice you got through that entire process? Because I would imagine it's a little stressful and takes up probably your whole life.
Yeah, it really did at the time, because once I set that goal, it wasn't just getting drafted. I also wanted to graduate too. So now it became, all right, how do I get my classes done and that. So there were a lot of people that helped me. I think from the baseball side of it, like once Coach Davis became aware that the draft was on the horizon for me, he was kind of all in on it. He was like, whatever you need, like, go do it. Like, he wasn't too concerned with what the work I was going to do, because I was going to do most of that on my own. So he really just allowed me to have free reign over what I needed to do for that. And then from the school side of it, the people in the business department, they were great. I told them I need to take like 6 classes this semester, all my major classes. And they're like, are you sure you can do that? That's like a lot. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I need to do it because I have to be on campus. I wasn't going to be on campus. So they signed, I got all the paperwork signed, and then I was able to do 2 independent studies later. And so I was able to graduate in 2017. So 3.5 years. So I was able to graduate because they were so great about like allowing me to take classes when I had to take them. But really it was a whole process from that point in that freshman year. So sophomore, junior year, it was kind of just all about getting out and doing it.
So then going forward, once you finally got drafted, what was that entire experience like? Did you kind of have a sigh of relief for a second and then you were into it? Like, what was that entire experience just like?
Yeah, I was excited for about 2 days. I remember right after the draft, I got drafted June 13th. It was my dad's birthday, so I remember so well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I got drafted June 13th, and then I think that was a Tuesday, I want to say, and then Saturday I flew out to Phoenix. So I had a couple days to enjoy it and with my family and friends back home, and then once I landed in Phoenix, it was about 110 degrees that summer, and it was cooking, and I was like, all right, now we're working. It's great to be drafted, but that's not the end goal here. So I had a couple days to enjoy it, but then I was right back to work.
Mm-hmm. And you talk about being drafted wasn't the end goal. What do you think is your biggest goal, or some achievements that you hope to accomplish during your career, and how do you plan on going about that?
Yeah, I think my biggest goal has always kind of been to see where my ceiling is, and not let anything stop me from getting there. I'm not going to get my own way. Like, I'm going to do all the work that I can and see how good I could potentially could be, because, coming into college, like I said, I didn't have a goal of being a professional athlete at all. But because I don't have that goal doesn't mean I'm not going to stop myself from achieving it, because, if it's in the cards, it's in the cards. So for me, it's all about just seeing how good I can be, and the achievements and the things that come with it. That's great. But, I'm looking at filling up my bucket and seeing how good I could be.
What would you say is the biggest difference between college and the majors? And has your mentality kind of shifted at all? Like, was there anything similar that you learned and took with you?
It's very different. Just playing every single day. In college, you play pretty much just on the weekend. So I'm pitching once a week, and going to class, and you are focused on baseball, but there's other things you have to take care of as well in college. Once you get drafted, it's all baseball all the time. Like, getting on the bus and going road trips and workouts and throwing program. It's all based around baseball every single day, and that's a lot different than college. But at the same time, college, you have to learn how to manage your time well, and that's something that I definitely took away from college, is how I manage my time and schedule my days to be successful in professional ball too.
Mm-hmm. So kind of taking it back a while, when did you start playing baseball? Was there anyone who got you into it in particular?
Yeah, that was my dad. He coached my first team when I was 3 years old, because the first league was for 5-year-olds, but I wanted to play when I was 3, and he had to coach the team if I wanted to play. So that's how I got involved. I think he started me off just rolling a baseball back and forth when I was a little baby. And so, yeah, I've been playing baseball forever, but all kinds of sports I've been playing forever. I love sports, and but he's the one that got me started.
And do you think playing other sports growing up kind of helped you hone your baseball skills, or did it help in any way with the other sides of athleticism?
Yeah, definitely. I think the more you can do other sports, the more coordinated you're going to be, the more you're not just going to be so isolated in one type of movement. And, I still play to this day. Like in the off season, I like to throw the football around. I'll shoot hoops. Like, I'll go play some basketball, play some football, just because I think that does help develop other forms of athleticism, and it definitely helps the more athletic you are in baseball.
Growing up, and I guess even now throughout your entire life, was there anyone that you kind of looked up to in the baseball world? And was there anyone that you kind of took inspiration from for your pitching style?
Not so much pitching. Honestly, when I grew up, I liked hitting more. I wanted to be a first baseman.
So funny.
So growing up, I was a huge Cleveland Indians fan, and Jim Thome was kind of my favorite player ever. And that's why I wore number 25 for as long as I could. But I just think that the way he played, he was a great player, but he was a really good person off the field and in the community. And I think that watching him when I was a kid was really good for me.
Going back to your the start of your professional career, you only spent one season in the minors before you got called up. So how do you think that you were able to do this? Kind of what opened those doors for you?
I think just kind of, it's really hard to say. I think just being pretty consistent in that minor league season and working really hard and trying to get better. I think those are all things they look for at the major league level. And the more consistently you can perform in the major league level, the better you're going to be. And, I think there are still things that I have to learn. I was learning things while I get up. Just because I got up so quickly doesn't mean I was a finished product when I got there, And I think that was a hard thing for me to learn because it's something that I hadn't experienced before. So, I would just say consistency and hard work really are what got me there. And it doesn't stop just because you get there. You have to keep doing that.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So let's talk about your first major league debut. I mean, obviously, we can only imagine, obviously not being in your shoes, but can you kind of talk about what it was like before the game and then after the game, the difference in emotions, were there similarities? Like, just what was that entire experience like?
Yeah, it was really a crazy couple of days for me because I had just found out I think 2 or 3 days I think 2 days prior to starting was when I found out that I would be pitching. So just getting in touch with my whole family, getting them all on flights to get out there, and then myself getting up to San Diego. It was just things were moving so fast, and I don't even really remember the day before I pitched. We were just because I got to see my family, and we watched the game the day before, and but that morning when I woke up, we all went out to breakfast, and I'll remember that breakfast because I was very calm, like I was feeling really good, like it was great to see them because I hadn't seen them for a while because we were at spring training, and it just set me at ease because all the work had been done at that time and everyone was there and I didn't have to worry about anything but going out and pitching. And then I didn't really feel nervous at all going out there. Once I stepped on the field, it kind of just felt like a normal game to me, like I had been pitching in spring training the whole time. And then after the game, it was just kind of like, wow, like I just did that. Like we're taking pictures on the field, like fans we don't even know are congratulating me and my family, and so that was a really cool experience. But it just kind of happened so fast, but all great memories for me and my family.
Yeah, it definitely sounds super exciting for you and your family. This season, obviously, I'm sure you've gotten this question a lot, has been very different than any other. What's been the biggest challenge for you during this time, and how have you kind of gone about moving past it, I guess?
Yeah, I think it all kind of started when I got home from the quarantine, or for the quarantine, I should say, from spring training. And I just went to work on my own, like you couldn't really go to gyms. No one really knew what was going on. I was thrown at a local high school field with my brother-in-law, actually, just because we were trying to keep the bubble small and no one really knew what was going on. So we just had to make do with what we had, and that was kind of my whole approach during that whole time. But I think moving forward, I learned a lot from that, and having very few resources and having to make things work in less than ideal situations makes it a lot easier when you have more things accessible. When I got back to the season, I had the full weight room, I had the full field, I had all the pitching stuff I needed. It made it a lot easier going into the season. It's like, oh, well, I mean, I was dealing with nothing for 4 months or whatever, and now I got everything, or most of the things that I'm used to back. It's much easier for me now. So I think there's a lot of really good things that I learned from having to do things on my own in the quarantine and stuff like that. So I would say it's been pretty positive, honestly.
To close us off, what is the biggest piece of advice you have for someone who wants to play professionally and maybe is coming from a smaller school like Rider?
I would say the biggest thing that I would say is don't look up so high, and find what you need to work on and just go after it. And what's going to make you that caliber player? What is the thing separating you right now, and go after it. Go attack that weakness or that gap between you and whoever you're looking up to as at that level. And work every day on it, and don't be afraid to go all in on it, commit everything to it, and really just throw all your cards at it, because that's really, I think, one of the only ways you're probably gonna be able to achieve it.
I just want to thank Nick for coming on the show, and we are super excited to talk to more alumni in the future.
Rider Athletics recently received a generous donation. Elise Spenning spoke to Athletic Director Don Harnum to get more insight on the matter and what they plan to do with this donation.
Rider Athletics has recently received a $2.5 million anonymous donation. This is the biggest gift in Rider Athletics history. This donation would go towards an about $17 million project to renovate the Alumni Gym and surrounding sports facilities. I interviewed Rider's Athletic Director, Don Harnum, to learn more about what they're going to do with this donation.
We've had a plan in place for years that has been a multi-phased plan, so that as funding becomes available, we can continue to make progress on the gym. So this is all part of a larger picture.
They have already raised about $10.5 million toward this multi-phase plan. Through this, they were able to complete up to the 4th phase, but now Rider is ready for their last and final phase.
The last phase is what this gift, the $2.5 million gift, goes for, and that includes a massive expansion of Alumni Gym by knocking out the stage wall, putting premium seating in a curvature bowl, but that has a domino effect. So we're going to expand seating, expand premium seating, change the look, put an overhead, like a little mini Jumbotron in there, and kind of make it more arena-like. But in doing that, we also have to expand restrooms. And in expanding restrooms, we have to expand the lobby. And in expanding the lobby, my office gets moved. And so there's a domino effect of that. But this latest gift is the largest gift we've gotten towards the project, the largest gift in athletic history. And it's put us in a really, really good place where we're a lot closer to finishing the final phase. We're not there yet, but we're closer.
This donation got them more than halfway towards their goal for the Alumni Gym renovations. Some of the renovations funded by this donation includes new bleachers, courtside seating, as well as new walk-in tunnels under the bleachers. Fans will also benefit from this upgrade. Harnum touched on how this will create a better fan experience.
This is more for the fan experience. This is more for the student body, the alumni, the season ticket holder. Yes, it'll improve things for the players and coaches. It will absolutely have a positive impact on recruiting, but it's also going to expand the fan experience with more premium seating, better traffic flow, better concessions, an actual luxury suite, an entertainment suite in the gym where you can have post-game, pre-game, in-game receptions, halftime. We added, hallways behind the bleachers to improve the traffic flow. We've added the NBA's court style seating. So this phase is much more of the public perception, fan experience, pride phase, more than it is for the other two lenses.
Fans and athletes are anxiously awaiting for the finished renovations, but there's no definitive answer as to when it will be completed yet. Rider still has to raise $7 million to finish. Therefore, as Harnum stated, the timeline for this project is, quote, $7 million.
Now we're going to throw it over to Dylan and Tyler to talk about the men and women's basketball seasons.
Here with Dylan Manfrey, and we're going to discuss what's happening with the Rider men's basketball team, as well as how the women's basketball team is being affected by what recently happened with the men's basketball team.
So both the men's basketball team and the women's basketball team recorded positive coronavirus tests, forcing them into quarantine for 2 weeks. The women just got out yesterday from their 2-week quarantine. The men are going to get out on, I think, November 18th, so this coming Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And obviously they lose so much valuable time in a season that's fast approaching on November 25th, which is 1 week after the men's basketball team exits their quarantine on the 18th. Mm-hmm. And they're going to have to scramble for some time. Time is of the essence here, and Kevin Baggett's been very vocal of it. They're not ready to play a non-conference game. I don't think they should be playing non-conference at all personally. That's, again, just my personal opinion. They should not be playing non-conference basketball whatsoever, neither the men's team nor the women's team. They're just not ready.
I heard that also there's going to be less games because of what's recently been happening in the MAC. That's true, right?
So it's not that there's going to be less games. They're still going to have a full 20-game slate, which is, your full round robin. It's just not going to be traditional. You play Monmouth one day, you play Canisius the next, you play Fairfield the third. It's not going to be like that. They're doing 5 home series and 5 away series, which means you're going to play Monmouth. For Riders going to play Monmouth at Alumni Gym on Friday and Saturday, and Friday and Saturday are going to be the dates of the games throughout the entire season. And then, so on the same day, you're going to also have the Rider women's team play at Monmouth in West Long Branch on that same Friday, Saturday. Why? This mitigates travel. Where everybody's going to. And the MAC has also indicated that they're going to try to use the same officiating crew for both Friday, Saturday games, which, decreases personnel and the amount of just need for extra personnel. And it's going to be, I actually like this model a lot better than their original model. It saves time on travel. It's, everybody has different travel preferences with, wanting to stay overnight, but you don't need to stay overnight if you're going to play Monmouth. You just don't.
Yeah, it's very close. Everything except for Buffalo is close in this conference, drivable distance. But my biggest question is, do you think they're ready? Because I know that, our team, the Rider Bronx, is, they've been quarantining for 2 weeks. Do you think they're ready to face the double headers, a series of back-to-back games, as you said?
They're ready to face back-to-back games.
Okay.
They're ready to play Friday. They're ready to play Saturday. Do I think they're going to be ready by the start of the season? No, not at all.
Yeah.
That's a hard no. They're just not ready. You can't be in peak basketball shape by the time November 25th rolls around. The women's basketball team just got out yesterday. Yesterday was what, the 14th?
Yeah.
You're 11 days away from the start of the season. Not enough time to get in peak basketball shape. Right. The men's basketball team's getting out on the 18th. They're going to have 7 days until the season's supposed to start. You're not going to be in basketball shape. No way. I don't care what you've done to this point. You already lost the summer. You already lost the the initial preseason period of working with your entire team in full practice, 5-on-5, full contact. You're already abbreviating the period you're in of full contact with the 2 cases you've had on the respective teams. You're not ready. They're not ready. It would be dangerous, to say the least, if they were to start the season on November 25th and play.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense because then it's already a hard season, you know what I mean? Because there's less games than normal, and then now you're doing this back-to-back thing, so you're gonna risk. One, the coronavirus is always gonna be a risk, and then 2, you're gonna risk the injuries because of the back-to-back games when they're not in peak basketball shape, as you said. So I hope everything goes as planned, and I hope no one gets injured. But this is gonna be a challenging season.
I agree.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Rider Sports Report. We wish you all a safe and happy holiday.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Rider Sports Report. We'll see you in the new year.